The nice part about being the 16th today is that I can do some of my errands. And what do you mean you're not here for that? Okay, so today we're in the 16th for our casual 20 and 20, and we're headed to 3 new places. Well, new to me. The first stop is a place that I've been wanting to go for a while, the Maison de Balzac. With a view of the Eiffel Tower, its parks, it's kind of iconic, and yet not a very highly rated spot. So I want to find out, is it worth it or not? Normally it's 11 euros, the full price, but I have my Paris Duo, Paris Museum's exhibition or expo card. Ooh, there's a bakery down here with a running group inside. Interesting. Got some little park benches out here. So it'd be free to get into this part, like if you wanted to come check out the bakery and then wander through this tiny little garden and feel like you're actually in your own private estate with a view of the Eiffel Tower. Pas mal. I mean, the view from down here is a little obstructed, but you can still see it technically. So minor confession, I've never read Balzac before. He's got quite the personality. It's pretty cool to see. And honestly, I've never read his work and I'm inspired to. I've been wanting to pick up some of the old classics in French because I need to be reading in French more. And he lived here for 7 years and worked very hard. I think that the fetishization of the tortured artist and the hard work that comes through in some of what they presented isn't the most helpful or healthy. It's just what we live with in so many ways. But it was cool to see his universe. There was a whole section dedicated to the wood blocks that were cut out to print the illustrations of characters from his book in the book. So they're part of the printing process. 2,500 different characters that were illustrated. There are so many different examples. There's an entire universe there. The work that went into creating it, to connecting everything is very, very interesting. I was first introduced to him as a person or as a character through Rodin, because Rodin has this statue of him where there's an example downstairs. He made apparently like 120 examples, different like versions of it as he was working on creating this. So you'll see Balzac statues in a variety of museums. I think he's in Musée d'Orsay. I think I just saw him there. He's in the Rodin Museum. He's here. He's got just this persona that then inspires other people, whether it was artists, cartoonists. His face is kind of everywhere once you know to look for it. And he was very influential. I mean, he's the biggest novelist of his time. And then you go downstairs and there's other artists that have been inspired by him, have created things out of that inspiration. And honestly, when I first walked in here, I was like, well, it's going to be kind of nice to walk around this tiny little old house, the only house that's still standing that he lived in. That'll be a little bit of history. But I think as a writer, especially because yesterday we spent 3 hours, I said 4 on camera, but it was closer to 3 hours, going over notes and working through my nonfiction. This kind of made me want to get back into my fiction. I mean, I really want to get back into my fiction. I'm playing with it more and more, but diving into that work and giving your life to something, like really giving your life to a massive project that you're not even sure you're going to be able to complete in your lifetime. But I really connect with that, and it's been something that's been on my mind quite a lot. So Maison de Balzac, especially if you're a writer or a fan of his, or you just like very well curated, small, simple spaces. From here, we're gonna go grab coffee in a place that I have not been before. I'm gonna sit and reflect on this a little bit more because I think it actually deserves it. And then we're gonna go check out another favorite of most of yours, I'm sure, and certainly one that I learned to appreciate later in life. Let's go see some Monet. One of the other things about the 16th is that it is long, but it is very well known for its architecture, whether Haussmannian inspired or a little bit more modern if you get down closer to Porte Saint-Cloud, which are really, really cool. There's a mixture, and this is another one that I'd recommend you ride your bike through just to see what there is around here. Like this train station over here has been converted into an RER station. It's one that I've always found to be really pretty. And you're just surrounded by all kinds of just interesting buildings. Obviously, there's some ugly ones to go along with it. Like nowhere is perfect, but like a lot of these just straight up gorgeous. Just look at this. I keep forgetting to leave my helmet behind. Atom. That's a nice little neighborhood find. It's been on my list for a long time. Just haven't come this way in a long time. Avenue Mozart. It's nice. I remember it most fondly from ending my driving lessons here when I was getting my French license. Yeah, the coffee was good, but the cookie was interesting. It was very rich, kind of dense, and tasted a little bit like a donut, like a thick, I don't know how else to describe it, really. It was tasty and unique. Anyway, so much nice architecture. Coffee was good, and it's a really nice middle stop for our route today to go between Balzac and Marmottan. And thanks to today's patron producer, Cain, for making it possible to hit up these museums. Not all of them are free, and I really appreciate my patrons for supporting me as I go explore and share what I find, and hopefully make your time in Paris a little bit easier to navigate. This has been great. Let's go check out some Monet. really enjoying this. I love that we have access to these spaces. And can you imagine this being your house? I don't think any of the closets in this place are as small as my apartment. Wow. This is 100% worth it. You have to come. Well, that was incredible. So the Musée Marmottan was, I thought it was a private collection, and it was originally. Paul Marmottan. I don't know if he was the dad or the son. I read about that, and I already forgot it was in there. But this is like a hunting lodge on the edge of Paris, right, by the Bois de Boulogne, and it got handed down. The hunting lodges in France. Versailles was a hunting lodge. What the heck? But it got handed down, along with the private collection they had here, to the son. The son handed that off to the Académie des Beaux-Arts. He died a couple years later. And it's a far more diverse collection than I expected. The Empire de Sommeil, like the exhibition or the exposition, I forget what we say again, exposition, the expo, they're dedicated to sleep and people sleeping and dreams and the weirdness of sleep. Very, very cool. It's going on until the 1st of March, so another month. So if you happen to be here to see that, I thought that was really, really interesting. But the permanent collection itself is super cool. Lots of like imperial influences, Napoleon everywhere in one room in particular. The desks, the furniture was incredible, the paintings of Venice, and then you go down and you see the Monet collection. And honestly, like compared to, I think it's like at l'Orangerie, right, where they've got the water lilies, the collection they had down there seemed way calmer. There are fewer people, it did feel quieter, you have an opportunity to reflect and just look at it. And for me, Monet breaks my brain. When I look at Monet, the Impressionists, by and large, I'm getting to understand better and better, but there's something about Monet's paintings that, like, I just have to sit and stare at them. And I still don't, I mean, it evokes something, but also Monet there's something that just doesn't click quite in my brain with it yet. So I need to spend more time sitting in front of it. And every time I do, or I see an exhibition, whatever, I contrast with one of his students or somebody that was inspired by him or somebody that inspired him, I always feel like I learn more, but he's just a nut that I cannot quite crack, which is kind of cool. I like that. The whole space is just really nice. It's expansive. The place is way bigger than I thought it was going to be. That visit took a little bit longer than I expected, but it was very worth it. There was no room in there where I was like, what is this? Very well curated. The staff are very nice. I mean, who am I to judge? But it was very, very nice. It's also across the street from Renlag. It's a park that I used to take Cooper to all the time when he was a puppy, before they started cracking down on illegal dog activity here. I don't know. But it's right here, and it's been on my list forever, and I just never gotten in. And I don't regret that, but I'm so glad that I finally made it in. And today's a really good example, too, of just like how nice it is to live in this city at all. It's been kind of a nice date with myself in my own neighborhood, appreciating it. I know I complain sometimes. There's a lot to love here, as you can see. And I'm just so fortunate to be able to access these things. Like the fact that I literally could just walk over here or ride my bike, pay 14 euros, I think, to go into this place and just go sit and stare at Monet. The access that I have, that's another thing that's standing out to me from this sprint. One of the reasons that I love going to the churches so much is because they're free. You can just walk in and see something new, some architecture, some art that you can just wander through, totally free. The Paris museums are the same. And then even the ones that you have to pay to go see, we have access to so much. Going into the Musée d'Orsay with Amber really jumped out because we bought that kids book, right? And I read through this kids book in like an hour just to learn a little bit about art, of course. And half of the stuff that was in there, it felt like, were things that I had seen in the last year just by going into the museums that I have readily available to me. So it's really been fun to go out, make myself get into each arrondissement, see something that I want to see each day that's been on my list or that I've wanted to go back to, because it's really just a gift. And I appreciate being able to do this so much. And it really reignites that love that I have for exploring the city in more ways than just coffee and food, which coffee, it's a great motivator to explore, but there's so much more going on here than that, isn't there? And there you have it. There's the 16th. Thanks again to my patrons for making it possible. Thanks to you for watching, and see you in a couple days for, I don't know, maybe the 17th.